Here are the top 10 craziest phenomenon to ever occur. The sardine run. This occurs from May through June, where billions of sardines travel north aside the east coast of South Africa. These sardines don't only cause a feeding frenzy, but they also look beautiful in their large groups. This phenomena is poorly understood from an ecological point of view. In 2003, the sardines failed to run for the third time in 23 years. While 2005 saw a good run, 2006 was marked as a non-run. Sardines don't travel individually, but in large groups, making it less easy for them to be eaten. The Great Blue Hole. This is a large sinkhole off the coast of Belize. It is over 300 meters wide and 124 meters deep. The formation of this cave took place over 153,000 years ago. As the ocean waters began to rise, the cave was flooded. It may look scary, but it is one of the most popular spots for recreational divers. The surreal spider webs. This one will make you cringe and squirm. Fleeing torrential floodwaters near Wagga Wagga, Australia, these spiders set up shop in communities, farmlands, and more. People say they can't even walk down the streets without feeling the spiders crawling up their legs. Farmland is ruined from these spiders and their spider webs. The green flash. If you've ever seen a bit of green poking out from the sun during a sunrise or sunset, it could be one of two things. You're either having an acid flashback, or you're experiencing a natural phenomenon known as the green flash. This phenomenon usually occurs during sunrise or sunset, when more of the light reaches the observer without being scattered. The green is caused by light being bent and refracting in the atmosphere. The atmosphere acts as a prism, separating light into various colors. When the sun fully rises above the horizon, the different colors of the spectrum overlap, causing the spectrum to be invisible to the naked eye. It causes a flash because that's exactly what it is. Green only flashes for a few seconds at a time. Christmas Island's red crabs. Each year, an estimated 43 million land crabs migrate to lay their eggs in the ocean. The accidental introduction of the yellow crazy ant is believed to have killed 10 to 15 million of these crabs in recent years. The reason for these crabs migrating is for them to breed. The beginning of the wet season allows the crabs to increase their activity and stimulates their annual migration. The timing of their migration is also linked to phases of the moon. During this migration, red crabs abandon their burrows and travel to the coast to mate and spawn. This normally requires at least a week, with the male crabs usually arriving before the females. Once on shore, the male crabs excavate burrows which they defend from other males. Mating occurs in or near the burrows. Soon after the male is done, he returns to the forest and the female remains in the burrow for about 2 weeks to lay their eggs. At the end of the incubation period, the female leaves the burrow and releases the eggs into the ocean. This occurs precisely at the turn of the high tide during the last quarter of the moon. The females then return to the forest while the crab larvae spend another 3 to 4 weeks at sea before returning to land as juvenile crabs. Flammable ice bubbles. These frozen bubbles of methane are trapped beneath Alberta's Lake Abraham. Most of the time, this methane escaping from the surface of the water is relatively harmless. But if you are happening to be lighting a match at this time, I would probably run because you will watch these bubbles explode. Methane bubbles form in bodies of water when dead organic matter, leaves, and animals falls into the water and sinks to the bottom. The bacteria that is waiting below eats this dead organic matter and poops out methane, which turns to white floating blobs when it comes into contact with frozen water. Decreasing permafrost means more and more methane is being released into the atmosphere, and this is worrying many climate scientists. Firenado. The fire whirl is a rare and unusual occurrence in which a fire forms a tornado-like vortex of flames. These cyclones of flames are also known as firenados or fire devils. These firenados occur when trees, a hillside, or flames force air to shift against competing air temperatures and speeds. Some fire whirls can go out pretty quickly, but others they can travel when the heat is able to stay afloat and surrounding gases push it tighter onto itself. In Japan in 1923, in the aftermath of a 7.9 earthquake, survivors of the disaster gathered together in an open space. But a massive firenado occurred and swept through the space, killing thousands. Monarch butterflies. The eastern North America population is notable for its southward, late summer, and autumn migration, from the United States and Canada to Mexico, covering thousands of kilometers. During the fall migration, monarchs cover thousands of miles, with a corresponding multi-generation return back to North America. This is one of the most beautiful sights a person can see, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing it when I'm older. The Door to Hell. This is a gas fire in Turkmenistan accidentally ignited by scientists in 1971 and is still burning today. Engineers set up a rig in operations to assess the quantity of oil available at this site. When they instead found gas, the ground beneath the drilling rig and camp collapsed into a wide crater and disappeared. Expecting harmful releases of poisonous gas, the engineers thought it would be best to burn off the gas. The gas was only expected to burn for about 2 more weeks, but instead it continues to burn for more than 4 decades. Dirty thunderstorms. These are also known as volcanical lightning. This occurs when lightning is produced in a volcanical plume. Plume is a localized column of hot magma rising by convection in the mantle, believed to cause volcanic activity in hot spots. As the plume started going downwind, it seemed to have a life of its own and produced some 300 more or less lightning bolts. And also check out my channel at Cobes Mind. The link should be in the description. Thanks guys for watching, and I'll catch you later. Bye.